Feminist Literary Criticism by Emily, Maddie, and Sarah. Feminist literary criticism is literary criticism informed by feminist theory, generally by the politics of feminism or women's equality with men. This criticism focuses on either the reinforcement or undermine the economic, political, social, and psychological oppression of women. Critics often ask many different questions when determining the criticism of the novel. Certain questions include, how is the relationship between men and women portrayed? How do characters embody these traits, and do characters take on traits from the opposite gender? George Eliot and Margaret Fuller were 19th century female authors who contributed to the first wave of feminism. The first wave of feminism took place from the late 1700s to the early 1900s and was mostly a realization that women should be equal. The second wave was from the 1960s through the 1970s and was a movement for equality in America, especially in the workplace. The third wave was from the 1990s to present day, which focuses on the equality of other minorities and women. In films, critics have a certain test that they can use called the Bechdel test. For a movie to pass the Bechdel test, it must contain just one thing, a scene in which two or more named female characters have a conversation about anything at all besides a man. Anything, even if it's something stereotypically feminine, like shopping or shoes, it could be about dog poo. It doesn't matter. There are many surprising failures to the Bechdel test, including The Social Network, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Avatar, the original 3 Star Wars movies, and the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Examples of feminist criticism. In To Kill a Mockingbird, the roles of women are based in both positive and negative ways. During the Tea Party chapter, the women of Maycomb are very stereotypical while gossiping and talking about the clothes and etc. However, on the other hand, Scout tests the stereotypes and chooses to act and behave more like a boy. Scout wears overalls and plays rough with her brother and his friends, therefore breaking the social standards for women in the time. In Things Fall Apart, women are portrayed in a very negative light. They are seen more as property than people. They are married off at a young age and are basically only there to get pregnant and take care of the house. They are routinely beaten and treated horribly by their husbands. They are seen as worthless. For instance, when Okonkwo cries for his daughter, has the mindset of a man, but she is a woman, and so she is useless. In Macbeth, one woman in particular breaks the standards throughout the book, Lady Macbeth. Her marriage with Macbeth is an equal, loving relationship. In some cases, she is seen as the man in the relationship, pulling the strings behind the scenes and telling him what to do. He consults every decision with her, which is not heard of in that time period. Women are generally seen and thought of as very motherly, but as Lady Macbeth says she would kill her baby, she breaks through this as well. Many do argue, however, that Lady Macbeth's final fate is so because she is a woman and her weak mind couldn't handle the events. In A Thousand Splendid Suns, women are treated again like dogs. They are married off early when the women have no choice of who they marry. They have to cover up their bodies, and their husbands have to complete and utter control over them. They also have beatings when punished and shall not speak unless spoken to. Also, as Miriam discovers in the end, a woman's word matters less than a man's, especially legally in a court. Feminism also carries into the movies as well. In The Hunger Games, Katniss is seen as a strong and independent woman who knows how to work the bow well. She is seen as the opposite as the stereotypical damsel in distress, fighting her way up to winning the Hunger Games. She is not afraid to break gender norms and get her hands dirty. In Shrek 3, Fiona also breaks the norm of a princess. Instead of being useless and having a prince save her from her tower, she saves herself. She then goes to become a fearless leader of the rebels, proving that there was more to her than it looked.
Created using Powtoon.